8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 1,200 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you. Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Yeah, welcome to the Monday morning recap, everybody. Brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Which one of you took a swing at Cam Newton this weekend? Who was it? I think
it was Brock Purdy.
Was it? He would have gone down. He would have gone down a lot easier.
No, it was all black people.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I was looking at my skin color. I was like,
yeah,
not sure
you don't say. It's odd, but it was the video of the weekend. It looked like he took on 4 dudes with ease and kept his Pied Piper hat on, whatever we're calling that thing.
Yeah, the massive man.
The only other person I know that can take on 4 dudes like that is Nikki Haley, who I'm calling Headboard Haley now.
There you go.
That's her new nickname.
Big fan of that.
Yeah.
Or that cop from Laverne, Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't know what caused it, but man, he's a big fucking dude in real life.
Who was that fucking skater back in the day that fought like 4 guys? The bald dude.
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
She was a skater boy, and then she transitioned.
Sure did.
Shaved her head.
Are you talking about Jay Adams?
Talking about the viral Mikey something. It was a viral video before viral videos, and he beat the shit out of like 4 dudes.
Did he use his skateboard?
He did not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because one dude tried that on a young man in Wisconsin and
lost his arm.
No, he got shot in the face.
Oh, well, that guy. But then the other guy lost his arm too, and that was fun. So,
well, just the bicep, not the whole arm. But he was the felon that had a Glock. And
that's right.
Shot, yeah.
It's
hard to remember.
What was the situation there? Does anybody actually know?
I still haven't seen any discussion on what the fuck actually happened.
Me neither.
They were at like a youth football camp for like 7 to 10-year-olds or some shit like that.
Really?
It was something silly.
So, just being black is kind of the general outcome?
I mean, was it like the same
deal
situation as those fat slobs talking shit to Kevin Durant over the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, look, first,
Where
this is one of my favorite quotes of mine of all time, not to self-promote or anything, is it's perfectly reasonable not to take a side in a fight between 2 assholes. Kevin Durant is soft as kitten paws.
Yeah.
If you're a fucking athlete and somebody yells obscenities at you when you're walking down the court and you stop and you have to go confront them, you are a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, they did call him a bitch.
They called him a bitch.
Which is accurate.
Apparently.
But then they turned into bitches.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, we just wanted to get your attention. You want to shake
Trying to
this
dap
fat
them up.
white lady? Like,
I want to say
dude.
one of them were like, I said they host a podcast.
He's like, I have a podcast.
Yeah, they're like, we have a podcast.
Oh, yeah? What is it called? Fucking diabetes?
Well, no, if
Fat
you have
retards?
a podcast, you're actually allowed to say whatever you want to an individual without consequence.
Oh.
I feel like I can
I've been doing that,
for my entire life.
yeah, the whole time.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe that's why I'm on a podcast now.
After that video, my hatred for the NBA is growing by the day. I almost have zero interest in it at all beyond the playoffs.
Oh, I'm wrong. It was 7-on-7 youth football tournament. Is what it is.
Okay.
I don't know what the ages are. 15 and under. That's it. 15 and under. So, this is not new. It's not just black people that do this. Fat white women fight at fucking Little League games all the time.
Hockey dads, right?
I don't know if the dads fight. I think it's more
No, that one
moms.
dad murdered another dad in a bathroom.
Yeah, but that's like a one-off. I'm talking about like the average hockey game. It's the women fighting typically, right?
I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
you coach multiple youth sports. Do you see more women talking shit and getting in fights or men?
So the one that went viral here, I don't know if you know this, Bob.
I do remember it.
Dripping Springs. So I was up there, and then that's the fields that we played on. That was just white parents who were out of control, and like that happens every single game essentially. They eventually had to put up signs on every single field that say, if you interact with the kids or the coaches or the referees, you'll be banned from the field for life. So
I feel like you should be able to go after the refs.
That's what they were doing.
They were,
and it was like some fucking high school
18-year-old kid. Yeah,
yeah, and then he warned him like a half dozen times, and was like, "Please stop." And then she was like, "He's a firefighter. He can say what he wants."
Yeah,
That's a weird qualification.
Yeah.
Well, Is it? You know?
Yeah, it is. It's stupid. It's a complete non sequitur.
But
hey, he works at the post office. God damn it!
It's an affluent area up there, so like it's still shocking to see where you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this goes on.
But also, like, what the fuck do you want out of a strike zone in Little League from a fucking?
I want excellence.
You're
Always.
not gonna get that. Not gonna get
You guys
should.
never refereed.
Why?
like,
Why would you not get that? It's not that hard to call balls and strikes.
You never refereed like a youth game?
Yeah, I used
when
to.
I was 16,
when I
I
was
used to do
16 years
basketball
old,
games.
When I was in high school, I umpired all the time.
Well, here's another
Me
thing,
and my
too,
buddy
though.
Jeff. All
But
the
I
time.
would purposely like just I would troll the little kids. I'd
that
call
is-
walks. I would call charges.
I didn't do basketball. I did baseball, but yeah, I would fuck with them a little bit.
Now, would you go with the hard that way, or would you do the sort of like pop?
Oh, dude, I had a hard charge call.
Hard charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you
I kind
go.
of like the pop. I kind of like the. You know,
Yeah, well, you got to get the hips into it.
I was like
too.
Joey
Yeah.
Crawford.
Yeah.
I made it about me.
as well. You should.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That wasn't about the kids
fuck
anymore.
those
at that
stupid
point.
kids.
No.
They don't even know how to play good.
I tossed a coach once.
You know what you're trying to do, really, is you try to figure out which kid belongs to the hot mom in the stands, and you just give him all the calls.
Yeah.
Then you go up to her after the game like, hey, that kid's fucking good.
Hell
man.
of a
He's gonna
player.
and he's like got one leg
Or
and a
you
glass eye or some
foul him
shit.
out within like the first 3 minutes, and then she approaches you after the game.
Yeah, but that's negging, and I don't think that works anymore.
I used to, though.
People are too like self-examining now for negging to work.
Yeah, but this
anymore.
was 16 years ago.
fair enough. Yeah. I'm just saying, if you go back to it, upgrade
Yeah.
your game now.
But as far as the referees are concerned now, yeah, the kids are 16, 17 years old. As I coached 2 sports on Saturday, basketball, those were like old black dudes. Called it fair. It was a great game all the way around from the refs. And then soccer was a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah, but
And that
like,
was rough.
How old were the soccer players?
10, 9 and 10 years old.
Okay, it's almost organized. It's really 12 is where it starts to get actually organized.
Yeah,
Like from
it's
five,
close.
from 5
Very
to
close.
like 5 to 8, it's nothing. That's not even a game.
2 mobs of people
It's,
chasing
yeah,
after a
you're
ball.
just like it's like being
Depends what race they
It's
are.
like no, it's like being at the dog park.
I went to
really.
an 8-year-old soccer game Saturday and saw them lose 10-0 to a bunch of Mexican kids.
Yeah, that's fair.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Crackers
Where was
don't
it at?
Belong on the pitch.
Circle C.
No shit.
Yeah.
You don't say. Okay. All right. Yeah, I've never lost a game like that, so wouldn't know. But sucks for whoever that was.
Yeah, but
Sucks to
generally speaking, soccer is just the dog park until they're like 10 or 12. For the most part, it's just like chaos running around, just trying to make sure nobody gets hurt.
That's the only reason T-ball works is because you can't do that in
Yeah.
T-ball. Like it's one at a time.
Yep.
Go from station to station.
And still, they manage to fuck it up.
Yeah, horribly,
the
yeah.
kid hits the ball and stares at it, or he like I'm sure everybody's seen that video of the kid. He hits the ball and then he runs and tackles the fucking pitcher.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you got him mixed up there, bud.
Sure
But
did.
I like the effort.
Yeah, I
to be
like it.
honest. Have you seen this new? There's a new European thing. It's ice football.
No.
So it's football on a hockey rink.
Oh yeah, I did see a clip of that over the weekend.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's
we
pretty
should
funny.
definitely play that.
That would be really fucking difficult.
Oh, yeah.
I like how they were running because you had to use the points on the top of the skates there.
Yeah.
It's the only way you could ever do that.
I like Dagestani basketball.
What's that?
It's what Habib
Just
and Islam
wrestling.
play. It's just basketball, but you don't dribble because it's mats, and you can body slam your.
So it's
opponents.
rugby.
Okay. Yeah,
But
it's
instead
rugby.
of a try, you throw it in a hoop.
Yeah, it's hoop.
yeah.
All right. I don't mind that.
That's probably fun, to be honest.
I don't
was-
mind that.
that was
Smear the
allegedly-
queer is what we called it, but whatever.
That was allegedly how the first game of basketball ever was played. Like when Naismith organized it, like day one, there weren't a ton of rules, and the kids just beat the shit out of each other.
Well, what else would you do?
What
Well,
Right.
if you actually put it in the basket, you had to get a ladder and climb up.
Yeah.
Because they ain't got a hole yet.
In a peach crate, yeah. The peach crate was still sealed at the bottom there. Whatever it is, though, it reminds me of what happened in that college basketball game on Saturday. People are up in arms over storming of the court. This is the second incident in which somebody's gotten hurt, allegedly.
Well, he deserved it. To be honest,
Like all of a sudden, we're mad that a white player for Duke got hurt.
Yeah,
Well, growing up, that's what everyone wanted.
Yeah. I mean, he tried to pull a Grayson Allen there too. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't notice
But
it.
when he's like, "Oh, I'm just trying to make my way off the court," you can see him fucking stick his leg out, look down to try to trip somebody, and then shoulder the guy afterwards. That's when he got hit. And I'm not saying it was a retaliation. It'll happen too fast for anybody to know what was happening. But it's not like he was an innocent victim in that whole thing. He was trying to fucking truck somebody, which fair enough, right? But
Yeah, I mean, get a shot in if you can.
yeah, but
as
if you
long as
like,
it's clean.
yeah, if you try to truck somebody and you get a sprained ankle, that's like Hamas complaining about all the bombs.
Right. It's like, hey, dude, you guys started this. Sorry, nothing we can do here. Jay Bilas, though, had some strong words. What does he want? $100,000 fine, which I believe already exists.
It's already the SEC has a $100,000 fine already.
Yeah, LSU just got one.
Yeah,
I don't know. Each conference different.
He wanted to increase it to $1 million because he thinks that would make a difference because they don't care about $100,000. He's probably right about that.
Yeah.
But he also said that the fans would never. He said the NCAA would never do that because the schools wouldn't enforce it because they like it because it's a good photo op, which he's correct about because college basketball is funner than the NBA.
Yep.
That's a huge fucking reason why.
It's the only reason people care about it is because it's like that.
It's the fans. The fans are the difference between college and pro.
I can't think of a worse in-game experience than an NBA game.
It's awful.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible.
They have to play the music the entire time.
And
just
then
to keep you awake.
Then the 3.5 minute long fucking TV timeouts that happen twice a quarter. Like, fuck off, dude. But the other thing Bilas said was that to enforce it, they should just like let all the fans down once and then arrest everybody. And then they'll never do it again after that.
Not
like,
true.
Shut the
Bilas
fuck up,
played for
Bilas.
Duke, right?
Yeah.
So Bilas played for Duke, and Shire, who is the Duke coach, obviously also played for Duke.
Yeah.
He also said they should ban court storming. Fuck all the way off, both of you with your blue blood bullshit. That's because Duke never storms the court because they're fucking Duke. The same way Alabama never rushes the field because they're fucking Bama.
Yeah.
For the rest of us, it's fucking fun. I do agree. I did not agree because I didn't say it. It probably happens more than it should. Like, if you beat the 17th ranked team in the country, unless you're 0-20 or something, like, don't rush the fucking court.
Yeah.
Like, a mid-ranked team is not someone you should be storming the court for. It needs to be like a top 5 win or a very like
or a rivalry. Yeah.
It definitely happens more than it should.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that $100,000 fine, he's correct. That's nobody gives a shit about that. $1 million they would.
I don't know. It depends on the team. Probably because it would only be mid to small schools who even do that. It would probably be impactful, I guess, to some degree, if it was a higher cost. Like, to your point, if it was Duke rushing the court, they don't give a fuck about $1 million at Duke.
Probably not.
Definitely not. That I think their athletic program makes like fucking $25 billion a year or some shit like that.
No.
Or not
Absolutely
billion,
fucking not.
not $2.5 billion a year, I think, is what they make.
For Duke?
Not 25.
Their endowments in the billions, certainly. But either way, though, they have more than enough money. Like, they have more than enough money that they wouldn't care. But yeah, the middle class program.
$1 million is a hit. Like,
$1 million is a hit for sure.
It's a fucking
for
hit.
sure.
For
$1 million.
One game, that's a giant hit.
It's a hit. For sure. Because, like, look, Ohio State schedules these dog shit teams. So does Georgia, Alabama, all those other guys. And they're getting $1 million. They're giving those dog shit schools $1 million just to come and play. But you're getting concessions, ticket sales,
And that's
all that other
game.
shit. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
not even
about
basketball.
I don't know about what do they pay for basketball. It's probably not that much.
Shit, dude. It depends on what school you go to.
Maybe
because
$100,000, something like that.
You look at a Duke, they only got 3,500 seats in that thing, and they're selling them for face. Whatever the aftermarket is, Duke doesn't get that. So I don't think they would be able to. I don't even think Duke would be amped about that. But as far as storming the court goes, it's fine for now. March Madness is around the corner, and it is a reminder of how much we love college over the NBA. Watching the NBA right now is brutal. You don't even know if any of these motherfuckers are going to play on a day-to-day basis. Any of these superstars that you're actually paying to go and see. LeBron sat out last week after playing 15 minutes in the All-Star game. They don't even have a guaranteed playoff spot, and that motherfucker's sitting out. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, but he's 40, right? Mm-hmm. So I get it. But there are a lot of guys who are fucking 25 who are averaging 60 games a year.
LeBron's earned it. Because if LeBron doesn't sit out sometimes, he's not going to be on the court ever at this point. So that's fine. But yeah, like when anyone else sits out, like you said, like a 25-year-old, it's dog shit. It sucks. I mean,
it sucks. Speaking of Bron, his kids' stats have not been great here. Called this way early on in high school. I knew where he was playing. He's fine now. But I knew where he was playing. He's playing against all white kids. He's not getting any better.
I thought you meant USC.
Both.
You're talking about both. Okay.
I don't think either one's going to get any better anytime soon. But he's not an NBA player. The memes that are going around comparing his numbers to Marcus Jordan's numbers are the best.
Marcus Jordan was a stud.
I did not know that Marcus went to UCF.
Yeah, and he was a stud for a year. He scored like 20 points a game.
Yeah, he had a decent stat sheet. And they were like, hey, dude, if his kid wasn't good enough to make it, how the fuck do you think your kid is?
Well, he also quit early.
Who did?
Marcus.
Yeah, he
didn't finish.
He had other shit to do.
He did. He started a clothing line.
Well, I
really?
was gonna say Scottie Pippen's wife, but whatever.
Yeah, well, that's the end of his career.
That too. But yeah, no, he wanted to get into fashion and shoes, and it's like, oh, your dad owns the biggest shoe brand in the world.
That's where his dad made his money.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan
Exactly.
is a clothier.
He really is.
Like,
He's a shoe salesman that's good at basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I once saw Marcus Jordan just eat shit falling off a scooter.
Did you do anything? Did you help him?
Give him CPR.
No, I just kind of watched.
Man,
It was mouth to mouth, but not technically CPR.
Okay.
yeah, you're a horrific person, just all the way around.
He was across the street. Am I going to cross the street to help him?
No.
Sure.
No,
sure.
he got
Dangerous.
up.
That's your
And
brother.
also, it is my brother, yeah, for sure.
He went to school with you. Mm-hmm. It was your classmate, and you left him dying, bleeding on the side of a fucking sidewalk.
Yeah, and he didn't.
It was
make
a nasty spill.
He didn't.
Sure
make it.
it was. And he
didn't make
was
it.
looking for
he's
help.
dead.
Yeah. He didn't make it there. Houston, by the way, speaking of college basketball, is #1 this season. I know you love them, Bob. Any shot that they win the whole goddamn thing here?
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
right.
Dan hates them. I love Houston. We just know that we're just never by Purdue. That's really it. But Houston's
going to shoot 20% one game and lose.
no, that's fine because they force the other team to shoot 20% every game.
They have to figure out I do think if their coaching staff figures out a way to scheme around a bad 3-point shooting game at some point, they will probably win a championship because that's the only thing that's stopping them. They've lost 3 games this year, and in all 3 of them, they shot under 15% from 3.
And in one of those games, the one at
And it happened
Kansas,
both in each of the last 2 tournaments too. They had
That
one
they got
shitty
eliminated.
3-point game and got fucking eliminated.
well, the
right?
game we were at with Houston, was that 2 years ago in
Yeah.
San Antonio? You guys hated that game, but I loved it because it was a classic Houston game where
yeah.
both
Awful.
teams shot
Yeah.
25%, and
Yeah.
I was just like,
I mean, nobody plays perimeter defense like they.
I think
do.
it was 48-42 was the
I don't
final.
know if they scored that.
Yeah,
much.
but
I don't think either team
was,
got 50.
It was glorious.
Then Villanova just rolled.
awful.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, and that annoyed me because I knew that was a fucking cakewalk for Kansas after that because Villanova was dead. Weren't half of them hurt? It was like a depleted roster. Villanova.
No, it was just not a good.
They lost.
No, they lost their superstar
It was
player.
50-44 in that game.
I think it was Gillespie
hell
team.
yeah.
No, that was the Villanova game.
Okay.
50-44.
And that was a Colin Gillespie-led team.
Every
Yeah.
one of those Houston games has been the worst game I've ever seen in my life. Purdue, I'm with you at 2 here. UConn at 3. Tennessee at 4.
Dan's a big
Marquette
Tennessee
at
guy.
5.
Dan's a big Tennessee guy. The 2 teams I'm rooting for this March are Houston and Marquette. I like both those teams.
Tennessee has a scorer now, and is a white boy.
What's his name?
Dalton Connect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Connect?
Connect.
That's a great last name for a basketball player. Let's go. Arizona's at 6, Kansas 7, Iowa State's 8, North Carolina and Duke round out the top 10 there.
I don't like any of the rest of that top 10.
SEC's got a lot of teams in the top 25, which is shocking to see.
Very
How have they turned it around?
Money.
SEC? Yeah, they
Money?
They invested.
Gotcha.
Good. I mean, the conference has more or less a really solid coaching top to bottom with obviously Rick Barnes at Tennessee, Musburg. I know
Bruce Pearl at
Musburger's
Auburn.
at Arkansas, who hasn't having a good year, but I like him a lot. Yeah, Nate Oates at Alabama, Bruce Pearl at Auburn, obviously Calipari at Kentucky.
What happened with that kid at Alabama that helped murder somebody?
He's playing the NBA?
He is now with the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, they sent him to jail.
He was.
That's basically jail.
Exactly.
So yeah, he
They
got
picked up a big dub last night against the Trailblazers.
the universe punished him, even though the legal system did not.
That is a black hole. Holy
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, you're done there.
They had promise last year with LaMelo, and then I don't know what happened.
Charlotte.
Charlotte got him,
Just
dude.
nothing.
And they're nothing. It's like the Bermuda Triangle.
Why do
dude.
people hype up Charlotte as like a cool city to live in?
It's not.
It did get hyped up.
There's
for a little bit.
nothing to fucking do there.
Yeah,
No.
it was on that. It was very much on a not quite Austin, but people were kind of giving it
See,
a
next up and
Nashville
coming
flowers. Yeah,
Jobs.
Coast City.
Well, it was jobs. So the job opportunities there are plentiful, and I will say that. And a bunch of big places move there, so it's great for jobs.
But
the
do you wanna
sports
live
teams,
there?
me personally, no. But the sports teams there are less to be
Is
desired.
the bar scene any good?
It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean
it's
nobody.
not bad.
Yeah, it
Bars
was,
and restaurants are fine.
it was like it was like a cool place to be right after college. Like in your 20s, people were like, "Oh, it's a great city for young people."
Yeah, because there were so many job opportunities. Still are. But as this rounds out down here, any surprises for you guys? Dayton Flyers are back in it there.
I'm kind of surprised at how high that St. Mary's is as done as
17
well as they have.
St. Mary's is at 17 there. Not bad. Creighton could be a sleeper there at 12.
Creighton's good. I have a ticket on Creighton. Mountain West is just really good.
Yeah.
I guess that's a surprise, maybe.
They might get more bids than the ACC. The other big surprise is that the ACC is ass. So
they've been ass the last couple of years.
they're extra ass this year. They're full ass this year.
St. Mary's has won tournament games in each of the last 2 seasons, so you got to give them some respect, right?
For sure, but they've always just been like second fiddle to Gonzaga, and like
Gonzaga sucks.
yeah, Gonzaga.
They're 23 this year.
They're just
that's
hanging
the lowest
around.
they've been in a while.
They're hanging around like Duke does on name alone right now.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize Gonzaga was ranked.
Yeah, they are.
They just
I
got
don't
ranked.
think they were last week. They were like 27th or
They were.
28th or some
bad.
shit.
They've been a bubble team.
Yeah.
Lenardi's had them outside the tournament, I think, once or twice this year.
By the way, at Ohio State, the rumor is Sean Miller's going to take that job in the offseason there.
We figured it'd be a big name and probably a sleazeball. So
I love him,
They get-
dude. I
they-
wanted him years ago.
They get pretty good recruits. They got to do something there.
I know.
Like every year, it's like, oh, is Ohio State going to be any good this year? And then they just fucking collapse before the season even gets started. They had a really good team, 2 years ago, 3
with
years
EJ
ago?
Liddell.
Yep.
Yeah.
That team was
And
really
they just
good.
didn't do shit.
Yeah, but
They've
now that
always
they
had
can-
a Sweet 16 team and then never above that.
Now that they can pay players legally, does Sean Miller really have an advantage?
No.
I think he does.
I
Because
mean,
he'll have more money.
You don't
Well,
think
yeah.
he's going to get dirtier?
Yeah, he's got more money.
The fuck
sleazy.
out of here, man.
You're going to have more money at Ohio State now.
It's like, oh,
Yeah, it doesn't matter, though.
Like a
Everyone's got
guy's a
money.
murderer and the murder gets legal. You don't think he's still better than everybody else out there?
He paid DeAndre Ayton $100,000.
He did.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
In
Not
college.
until Buffalo knocked him out in the second round.
Sure, yeah.
Funniest part about that, when we ran that DB Classics a couple weeks ago of Coach Bobby Knight's, my last question of that interview was about that he paid a player $100,000. And it turned out that player ended up being DeAndre Ayton. And that was when he was in college there. So it worked out for both parties. I feel like DeAndre Ayton's made, $200 million in his career so far?
He's made too much considering the level of production.
Yeah.
Nuts,
Did-
isn't it?
He's a max player.
He is. He's a max player,
Doesn't
dude.
matter if I try or not. I'm a max player.
player, dude.
Was Grayson Allen part of that trade for him?
For DeAndre Ayton.
Was that a three-way trade?
I feel like it was, but I think Grayson Allen was part
This
of that.
is certainly, I think, Grayson Allen's first year on the Suns.
Yeah, he was in Milwaukee the last 2 years. So I
Okay.
think it was a three-way
And he just
trade.
hit a big buzzer beater, I believe.
So let me
I love that Grayson Allen's a
This
good
is so
NBA
funny.
player.
I love
It's so
Grayson
funny.
Allen.
let me
dude.
read you
He's-
Grayson Allen's stats.
He's One Tree Hill.
This is Grayson Allen's stat line from this year. So he's averaging 13 points a game. That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
He's not starting, right?
Got his skills from his
No.
dad.
So it's 13 off the bench,
no,
right?
13
yeah,
off the
that's fucking
bench.
Great. Yeah.
He's shooting 48.6% from 3 out of 5.5 attempts a game, and he's shooting 45% from the field, and he's shooting 87% from the free throw line. He's having like a marginal all-star season right now, right? Like
Not bad at all.
It's like, or not all-star. I mean, like fifth man or sixth man of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got to
definitely
be
in
on the
contention
short
for
list
that.
for sixth man.
How fucking funny, because he's like the biggest piece of shit of all time.
Yeah.
I love him. I love him.
He's not
only
like-
because he's the storyline of One Tree Hill. Like, it's literally his
I know,
life.
but it's like everything he ever did was completely unnecessary. He's obviously very talented.
Yeah.
You don't
have
need
you ever
to
seen his high
trip and
school-
tackle people, dude.
His
What
high
the fuck
school
are you
tape's
doing?
incredible.
It
It's
is.
like one of the best highlight tapes out there.
It is. It really is.
It's so funny, but you're right though. Like everything he did was egregious because, like, he was on Duke, and he was the best player on those Duke teams, and he was doing like Draymond Green shit. But Draymond Green kind of has to do all that shit just to be relevant and scrap his way.
Because he's 6'6" and he's playing center.
Right,
Yeah.
like he has to scrap his way into relevance.
Listen,
Grayson
Ben
Allen-
Wallace was
He's
6'4".
a 6'4" shooting guard in college.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to do anything but shoot, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like he should not. He had no reason to be kicking people in the dick. Like he did it for the love of kicking people in
I
the
mean,
dick.
fair enough though. Right?
Yeah, it gave him an edge. I like it. Lastly here, NBA-wise, glad that Chet Holmgren is not going to win Rookie of the Year. So amped about
He
that.
should.
Any other year, he
Wemby.
would.
It's all
Wemby's
Wemby,
just
friends.
putting up alien numbers, but also,
Nothing you can
man,
do.
put a little bit of an asterisk next to that because when a team is fucking god awful, everyone
Someone's
gets
got to
numbers.
put up numbers, yeah.
Yeah, like there's no one to take any rebounds away from him.
But check it out. Triple-double with 10 blocks.
Yeah, it's sick.
That's sick.
It's sick.
It's insane, dude.
I'm just saying, basketball ain't baseball. Nobody has to score in a baseball game. Someone is going to get 25 points a game in basketball, no matter how bad the team is in the NBA.
All I said on the show was he would never win Rookie of the Year, and I'm glad that that's
No.
going to come
No,
true.
that's not all
That's
you
not
said.
what you said.
It'll
You
never
said he
come
wouldn't
true.
be an
You
You said he was
all-star.
never going to be a good NBA player.
Now, has he been an? Was he an All-Star this year?
No, but
No, he
first
wasn't.
year.
Did he win Rookie of the Year?
legitimately
He's
a
going
great
to.
NBA player
did he win
already.
Rookie
You
of the
literally
Year?
said he'll never play, really. You said he was too fragile.
Guys,
he'd break.
We're
You
still
said-
only in February.
You said great. I don't know if I would say great.
He is
think he's
great.
He's
gonna
been
be
great
great?
so far this year.
He's
been fantastic.
ranked. He's ranked 29th
It's his rookie
in
year.
PER.
It's
Right.
his rookie
He's a
year.
top 30 player in the NBA as a rookie.
And you consider top 30 to be great.
In the NBA?
Yeah.
For your
That's-
first
there's
year.
30
Yeah.
teams.
Look up LeBron's
Yeah,
PER.
but there's 30 teams with 6 dudes on.
Look up
that
his
are actually
PER
good, right?
for his rookie year.
LeBron's.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not
sure-
top 5.
You don't think so?
No.
Either way, he didn't make the All-Star team. He's not going to win Rookie.
Well,
of the
You're
Year.
moving the goalposts.
There's nothing I can do.
A, you said he
You
wouldn't
are.
play. That didn't happen. B, you said he wasn't going to be good. That's not true.
You legitimately said he was ass.
Hey guys,
And
you
now
said
it's just-
Rookie of the Year. You promised Rookie of the Year.
No, we said he would win a Defensive Player of the Year in his career.
Yes.
That's what we said.
You said Rookie of
We said
the Year.
We
Defensive
didn't.
Player of the Year
Get in
at some
the
point in his
chat.
career. We can run the tape.
Run the fucking
We got the
tape.
fucking
You said
tape.
Rookie of the Year.
If you're,
for
got
the
the
if you're in the
fucking
chat,
tape,
right, if
dude.
you're in
Shoot
the
him
chat
again.
right now,
We got the
Shoot him
fucking
again.
tape.
hold this
shooting
man
tapes at you.
fucking accountable if you're in the
Look at
chat
this,
right
dude.
now.
He's a fucking loser. Rookie of the Year is so easy, dude, and he couldn't even fucking
Yeah,
do that.
generational alien comes in the same year.
Gets
Too
to gets
bad,
to put
dude.
up numbers on a dog shit team.
That's what's going to happen every year,
Doesn't
dude.
matter.
Yeah, all
Chet-
Chet Holmgren's doing is like leading his team with SGA to the fucking playoffs.
He's invisible. I don't even see that guy. Jersey sales way under Wemby as well. Nobody cares about Chet Holmgren. It's not even close. It's not even close. We got some sponsors, though. Maybe Chet can have some of these micro factors, dude, and improve his performance this year. He still has half a year to make up for Rookie of the Year if he wants to. He just doesn't want to. Throw me those micro factors. Bob, firstform.com/Drinkin Bros is on the old program today. Get those micro factors, dog. 6 tasty little vitamins that are the necessities every single day. Pop them in your mouth. You're good to go. I always forget about them. That's why they sit on my desk. Forgot about them today, so boom, I'm going to take them live on air here. CoQ10s is in them. Got the multivitamins, fruits and veggies, EFAs, probiotics, and the antioxidants. We all don't eat the way we want to, work out the way we want to. I shouldn't work out yesterday on my birthday. But I'm taking these little vitamins, dude, to get back in the swing of everything. Great for your brain, your guts, and your heart. Go to firstform.com/Drinkin Bros today. Try their energy drinks as well. Huge fan of this company. Right now you're getting free shipping on orders over $75 over there. Big fan of firstform.com/Drinkin Bros. Highly recommend these. Stop buying a million jars of vitamins. Just make it easy on yourself. Grab them in a pouch. Next up is MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Top 20s, top 10s, top 5s are back in golf. Delco, how'd you do this weekend?
Not great. We had Jaeger, top 10. That was about it. So
I had Jaeger in my top 5, so that was good. I got $760 back, which wasn't bad. I had 2 top 5s.
I'll have to do the
I'm
math.
sorry, I had a top 5 and a top 10 on there. I finished, I did the 1,000. I went with you on that one.
yeah, but Cam Champ also bogeyed 17 and fell out of the top 20, so that was kind of a big portion of the budget. So,
What were the odds on him? Do you know?
well, I had $200 on him at, I believe, like plus 280 or something. So
That would have done it.
That would have done it.
That would have done half
And
your
he-
budget.
He bogeyed 17 and then parred the 18th par 5. So all he had to do was not do that, and he
And
would have
couldn't.
cashed.
He couldn't. Either way, they're back. It's fun. Got some money in the old account this weekend. March Madness is coming up. Best time of the year to gamble. I don't think, like we were talking about college earlier, man. I don't think one of these big teams is going to win at all. I think it's going to be someone kind of unexpected this year. So if you're going to bet on it, this is the year to do it. If you guys are taking a flyer on MyBookie, what team is kind of a dark horse that has decent odds?
Oh man, let me look at the
Creighton? Would you got money on Creighton?
He likes Creighton.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to run back the team that made the Final Four last year, same starting 5,
San Diego State.
FAU.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But FAU is out of the top 25
It doesn't
here
matter.
now.
Who
Okay.
gives a shit?
All right. All they got to do is win their conference, right?
They'll get in regardless. They've been in the top 25 all year.
Okay.
I mean, I like Marquette's 25-1. I don't hate that. Creighton's 30-1. I like Marquette at 25-1. I actually like a lot.
That's great odds. 25 to 1.
Florida
Yeah.
Atlantic is 60-1. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with Marquette.
All
I like
right.
Marquette.
What's North Carolina? Are they on there?
On this list, let's see if they're on it.
They gotta be
They're
a favorite.
18-1.
18 to 1. All right. That's
I mean,
not bad
Tennessee
either.
at 13 to 1 is pretty nice too. Anything
Shit.
that's a double-digit odd. Tennessee at double-digit odds is
The only concern is Rick Barnes.
yes, that's always a problem.
Yeah, Rick Barnes is always a problem.
What's the concern?
He sucks.
He
chokes in the playoffs.
He's just not a great tournament coach.
Yeah, he just chokes.
He's never won, right?
No, he chokes.
He is not. He has
He's
one.
been at Clemson and then Texas. And
Texas.
But he's never had a score like Dalton Connect. So
Yeah, ever?
Kevin Durant.
no, he's never had it.
Kevin Durant seemed like he was all right.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw that was Swaggy P in USC.
That's true. Yeah.
Nothing you do there. Either way, tons of fun stuff to bet on over there. UFC 299 is coming up in a couple weeks. That'll be a blast with Sugar Sean O'Malley in that one. And then last but not least, we got hardafseltzer.com. All right, we're live in Houston, Texas now at Kroger. Which is fucking awesome, dude. Huge fan because that was my grocery store as a kid growing up. So we got 4 or 5 Krogers that just opened in Houston. D'Anthony and I will be doing a live meet and greets here on Friday nights at the Austin Nutty Brown location, HEB, over here right next to the studio. Come and join us for that. We'll be there from 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. this Friday night at the HEB on Nutty Brown on 290, right down the street this Friday nights. Be giving out a bunch of fun stuff there. Take some pics, have some laughs. Might even buy out all the Hot Pockets there and see if we can just eat our weight in Hot Pockets while we rage inside HEB. In the meantime, we're live in Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Every single Total Wines in the Southeast, every single Total Wines in the great state of Texas right now, along with all these colleges. So if you're going to the spring game that's coming up in April for a lot of these schools, Ohio State, we're on campus, Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, UCF, you name it, we are there. Go to hardafseltzer.com, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip code, and it'll take you to the nearest location. If you're not in one of those states and one of the surrounding states, we still ship right to your house at hardafseltzer.com. We'll switch on over to the NFL here. Tags have come out today. T. Higgins got a franchise tag for the Bengals. Is that a good idea?
Yes.
He's a very good player, but this is a lot of fucking money, dude. $21.8 million for T. Higgins.
Yeah, I mean,
damn.
it should be in the 18 million range, but Devontae Adams fucked everybody.
Yeah.
Like, he fucked every team in the NFL.
I mean, that's...
And to be honest, like this isn't even the dumbest part. This isn't the dumbest thing that's going to happen because of bad contracts this offseason. I think that Dak Prescott's going to get like a 55 to $60 million.
$60
Rightfully so.
deal.
Rightfully so.
And it's going to
He's a franchise quarterback.
That'll take the franchise tag on quarterbacks from 38-40 million, what it is right now, to 50 to 55 million, right? Mm-hmm. Which is, I mean, goddamn.
Does the franchise go against the salary cap?
Well, they just jacked up the salary cap, so they raised it by $26.5 million, which I guess is going to take care of this extra salary for
There's no such
quarterbacks.
thing as salary cap hell. It's a fallacy.
It's a lie.
Teams figure it out.
Yeah,
the
they just restructure and break US
the Rams-
tax law,
Rams did it.
basically, yeah.
Speaking of which, Geno Smith also restructured over there in Seattle. They're trying to figure out what to do as far as quarterback-wise in this draft.
The two biggest things that happened today, I think, are that Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley did not get franchise tags, which
Correct.
means they're either going to agree to deals with their current teams. Josh Jacobs, that is possible because the Raiders do have cap space. The Giants, there's no way they're going to pay for Saquon again.
Saquon shouldn't go back.
Yeah, he would be
No.
crazy too.
Why would you?
But
I
mean,
agree.
At this point, he's made money. I don't know what his goals are, but you would think winning would be one of them, maybe.
You don't.
They already have a superior running option in Daniel Jones.
Yeah, you're all good there.
Yeah.
The interesting part of this, though, to me, was with those guys in particular, is the number this year. So the cap number was $14.1 million. So if
For
you were
running
to
backs?
yes. So if you were to franchise both of them, they each get 14. I think each team got stuck. Or otherwise, they would have franchised them one more year there.
Maybe, but I wouldn't. Not for 14 mil.
Well, they don't have a choice. So it's you pay the 14.1, or you don't get the player.
Or you draft a fucking running back in the
Right.
third round. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Totally. So where would they go? I mean, look, obvious.
Saquon's
if you're
going
Josh-
to Dallas, I think, because they're the only ones dumb enough to pay him.
Tony
Right.
Pollard is. I'm sorry. Tony Pollard was not renewed either.
No.
So
Saquon's going to Dallas.
Okay. Josh Jacobs, if you're the Bills, can we just get a running back?
I don't
there?
know if they want to pay for something like that though. But who knows? Maybe it's the Chiefs. Maybe
Has
the
a
Chiefs
running
pick
back
somebody
been
up.
the fucking problem for the Bills? Really? Like really? Wasn't the problem this year?
No, well, I mean, I
never
think,
had one.
I think taking some of the pressure off of Josh Allen. So the problem for them is, one, their defense spends too much time on the field and they get exposed over time, which is always the case for any defense. But they have a good one and they get
decent
exposed
defense,
over
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And the other one is having Allen as the first, second, and third option is a problem.
Well,
right?
he
'Cause
elevates
makes
the entire
mistakes.
team.
Like he makes mistakes. Mitigate those mistakes.
Diggs kind of sucks. He's not a number one. Gabe
Who?
Davis.
Diggs.
I love Gabe Davis.
Yeah, I don't think Diggs is the number one either. His peripherals the last season and a half or so are more in line with like a third option slot receiver. They got to get rid of him. They should cut him right now.
I love
Guys,
Gabe
I gave
Davis.
1,400 yards last year.
Gabe Davis is Diggs is
Stat
he's
compiler.
washed. It doesn't matter.
It's a stack.
It's all
compiler.
Josh Allen.
His peripherals look like shit.
Gabe Davis, though, not really a number two, not really a number three. He can go off here and there, but he really gets all of his stats in like 3 or 4 games, and then disappears the rest of the season.
But there's options out there for 2 through 4, right? Like Tyler Boyd is going to be on the market. You can get him on the cheap. They can
Yep.
they can cut.
Especially with T. Higgins
Yeah.
signing now,
Yeah.
they're going to have to pay him.
Yeah, they can cut. Well, and the Bengals won't be able to, right?
No.
So after that, so you can cut Diggs, bring in Boyd, use your first round draft pick on a fucking wide receiver or something like that. Now you're in a much better situation. I don't know if they're going to go out.
They're
and
not going to
spend-
cut Diggs, they said. So he's there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, can he handle being the second option, because he's not a good first option anymore.
and he
he
a total
complains a
liability
lot.
on the sidelines. Yeah, he's a diva.
He's divaed his way out of an organization already, and he was bitching all season last year.
Yeah.
Here are the other free agents, running backs supposed to hit the free agent market is DeAndre Swift, A.J. Dillon, Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Ezekiel Elliott, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. None of them are.
Not one of those
good
is a
enough.
starting running back.
No. J.K. Dobbins could be great, but he tears an ACL every single year.
Swift and Dillon are good split backs. They're like, and Singletary as well. He had a pretty good year.
Zeke
last
is
year.
30. He's a Hall of Famer, so I don't think that I'm saying that because of Zeke himself. He's a Hall of Famer. He's about to turn 30.
But the 3 that are available, 4 that are available that are still number one options. Tony Pollard's one of them, regardless of what Dallas might think. They just don't want to pay him, which is smart. If you're going to pay somebody, pay fucking Saquon, not Tony Pollard. That's a smart move, right?
Yeah.
But then
Yes.
Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard, and Derrick Henry are all free agents right now. There's plenty of running backs out, and then the draft as well. So nobody should be stressing about that shit.
We'll switch on over to the Bears here and Justin Fields. Rumor has it, as of today, 2 teams have big trade offers on the table. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. They're also deciding whether or not to keep him. What do you do with Justin Fields?
Because of the economics of football, I understand if they want to reset their clock, right? Because he's up for a 5th year, and then
Mega contract.
Then if you either have to pay him or let him go, and then you're stuck, right? And if you franchise him, it's going to be $50 million after this year. If they let him play this year and he comes back and they franchise him next year, he's going to make $48 to $50 million for mediocre play so far, right?
Correct.
Maybe he ends up with like the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Yeah.
Caw, baby. Let's
But
go.
I do think he's definitely talented enough to play quarterback in the NFL, right? So you got to I think either one of I think Pittsburgh probably makes more sense because that franchise, generally speaking, is committed to running the ball and defense, right? Which is somewhere where he's going to thrive. If he just has to make 7 to 10 quality passes a fucking game and then use his legs a little bit, he's going to thrive in that environment instead of being in Chicago's fucked. Right?
George Pickens, sorry to interrupt you, it can be a superstar wide receiver there. He just doesn't have anybody throwing him the
And
ball.
it doesn't matter who the running back is in Pittsburgh. They're kind of like Denver was in the 90s and 2000s. No matter who the running back is, they're good, right? They just because of the scheme, they do really well.
Terrell Davis would like to argue with you.
Well, look,
He
it was a
did
long
pretty
time
well.
ago. Yeah, I was in the
He
90s.
was
But
the
even
best
even
one, but they were-
Denver, starting with Terrell Davis and then after for about 10 years, they produced more great running backs that permeated through the league than any other
They
franchise.
had that guy,
Peyton Hillis.
They had that even before. The funniest one was he was a vet. I think
Peyton Hillis
he was
was
like
big with the
he was like
Browns.
in the Navy or something. I think his name was Mike Anderson. He was like a scrub nobody.
Yep.
Had that ran for like 1,500 yards one year just because Denver's line and blocking scheme was
Clinton
insane.
Portis.
Yeah, Clinton
Yeah,
Portis.
there was a
They
bunch
got,
of them.
like-
That was right after. What was what? There was somebody in between. Terrell and
I think it was
Portis.
Mike Anderson.
It may have been, yeah.
Who was like he
Was
was literally like
he was like number 45 or some shit like
it was
that.
something
Some
weird like
dumbass
that.
number. Yeah, but anyways, Pittsburgh has that kind of fucking ability as well. Their offensive line has struggled the past couple of years, but if you have a guy who can't complete passes on a 3 or 5 step drop, if it's a 7 step, fine. That takes 3 seconds, right? That's a long time in the NFL to block a fucking 300-pound dude that can run a 4.4 40.
That's Fields' problem, though.
Sure, yeah, but if you can't, like, on a 3 or 5 second drop, like, you simplify the game for him. You simplify the game for him. Take all these
Like, if the first option isn't there, Fields sucks.
just let him run. Who cares?
That is his first option.
No,
I mean,
it's
but
his
like-
first option in Chicago, but he never ran in college. I mean, ever. He's a pocket passer.
Yeah, he's got the talent to pass in the pocket. He just never had a
Anticipation's
pocket
pretty
before.
trash. But yeah, he does have arm talent.
Yeah.
It's just he needs to work on just fundamentals.
I think you get a lot of pressure taken off if you go to a competent organization like
With a
Pittsburgh.
good line, yeah. And then, having Mike Tomlin as your coach instead of the revolving carousel over in
They're
Chicago.
finishing over 500 with hobos
Yeah.
at quarterback. Like
know.
it's yeah.
Mike
Tomlin isn't the problem.
Pittsburgh was one game away from the playoffs with the worst quarterback play in the league.
Yeah.
That's not subjective. Like, literally, objectively, they had the worst performance out of their quarterback position in the league. Even a 20% increase, and it's a playoff team, which is more than he's ever going to accomplish at Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then to Chicago's point, if you can get a first round swap that makes sense, and then they're not going to get another first rounder for him, but like a couple of second and third rounders, something like that.
So the rumor is 2 first rounders are on the board. If it was Atlanta, they would swap down at 8. The issue with that for the Bears, though, is all right. So let's say you do trade Fields. Then you got what? Caleb at 1.
Yeah,
Caleb Williams at 1.
They're a trash franchise, so they'll take Caleb Williams, and then they'll have to do this same thing again 4 years from now. That's not even.
I'm not sold on Caleb Williams, but not for the reasons you aren't.
What are you not sold on him for?
I just think like his entire offense at USC was him scrambling around and just like launching it
Yeah.
and just like making things happen.
With insane talent around. Like yeah.
It's just the whole thing was a scramble drill. It wasn't necessarily like a real offense.
I think, and I'm hoping this happens.
it was unstable, just like he is emotionally. Same but different.
Look, you know who the best quarterback in this draft is? I think it's about time we addressed it, and that's J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, God,
He is
dude.
that stock is soaring.
What is the fucking
seen
deal
him-
with that?
I've
First
seen-
round, they're saying.
The stock is soaring. I've seen him to the Falcons,
I'm
which
sorry,
I'm
he's a
praying
winner.
to God for.
Not a
That's what you want a winner.
That was my dream was Harbaugh and McCarthy to the Falcons. Or
I'll take McCarthy.
Or if
They trade Justin
when
Herbert.
Russell Wilson's going to get cut in a matter of days now, and then he goes to the Falcons, that would probably be even better.
I'm hearing Redskins on Russell Wilson.
Oh God! I mean, he would probably be pretty good there. They got a lot of talent. They've got 3 great receivers, and they have a fucking really good running back.
Speaking of Washington, I don't know if you're going to get to the story today, but we need to talk about it because it's so fucking funny. At this point, did you see what Eric Bieniemy's new job is?
He's the OC at UCLA or some shit.
Yeah. He couldn't even get an NFL job. Does he just walk into job interviews and every question?
He's wearing a diaper and he's got shit in the diaper. It's the
Every
only
question,
way.
like, so Eric, what do you envision this year for? What's your vision for this year, Eric? And is he just like me and your wife anal? Like
Well,
that's the answer to every question.
No.
It's like, how do you? There's a joke. I think it was.
Washington's offense sucked this year.
Was it Squidbillies? It was like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And he goes, don't say, oh no, it's Peter Griffin. Don't
Yeah.
say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. And he picks up a picture and he goes, doing your son? He's got to be the worst interview of all time.
He is. So the GMs that we've chatted with behind the scenes have said the same thing. They were like, dude, he's the worst interview there is. He just doesn't want to be there. He's not good at it. Doesn't mean he couldn't be a good coach, but you still have to get along with the GM and the owner and all that shit. So who fucking knows? But I saw that as well, and I was shocked.
Who took over for UCLA? Do they have a coach yet? Did they hire a coach?
Yes, they did.
They had to. You don't
Foster.
hire a coordinator.
Deshaun Foster.
Yeah.
The running back. The running back.
Carolina
Panthers.
Panthers,
Great. Deshaun Foster. So Bieniemy is the offensive coordinator there.
And co-head coach. He is co-head coach. I'm sorry, associate head coach. He's basically like
okay.
1A.
Yeah, okay.
It's still Deshaun Foster.
Well, I know, but that was his probably his sort of like
Selling point.
ceremonial title, just to make it a little less of a blow that this is where he's at now.
Ooh, there's a third team that has entered the mix as well. Fuck, dude. Who knows? Who knows? There's a ton of great quarterbacks in this draft too. So, you know, you got your options open.
I think the quarterbacks in this draft hand is severely overplayed. I don't think there are great.
You don't believe in McCarthy?
Well, every draft, right? Every
draft,
quarterbacks are overhyped, and I think quarterbacks in drafts only have less than a 50% success rate.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the last great quarterback class was supposed to be Mahomes's, right? That was kind of it, and it was Watson, Mahomes.
How was the Trevor Lawrence class?
Oh, Trevor Lawrence was after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was that?
I think it was him and Fields, right?
Yeah. So kind of disappointing.
Yeah. When and was Allen between those two classes?
He was, yeah.
Okay.
Out of Wyoming there. But also he was at a school where nobody knew anything about, to be honest with you. I only watched one of his games in college just because I had money on it.
I'm seeing a lot of people say if J.J. McCarthy was in a more high-powered offense, he would have put up Heisman numbers.
Oh, God. He
Completion
can't throw a fucking ball.
percentage off the charts.
Terrible.
Dude, J.J. McCarthy is about to just tear it up in the NFL.
He's going 7th round to the Chargers, and that's where
McCarthy's going to go top
he'll go in the
rounds.
third. He'll go in the third round probably.
To who, though?
I don't know. Somebody that needs a fucking
Chargers.
clipboard Jesus.
Backup.
A backup
maybe,
for the Chargers?
Maybe the Chargers, yeah. But there are some good. Like Jane Daniels definitely has the highest ceiling of anybody.
Absolutely not.
He's got
Jane
the
Daniels is going to suck in the NFL.
He might, but he's definitely got the highest ceiling.
I'll take
May.
Jaden Daniels.
He's got
at
the
8.
biggest arm.
I'll take him.
Drake May is retarded.
I don't want Drake May.
May's going to be a stud.
But he might be if Drake May just like gets into a good system in the NFL, might be really good because he's just a caveman, dude. And he'll do whatever the fucking
he's an athlete.
Yeah, he's got a huge arm. He'll do whatever the coach tells him to do. So if he gets if I don't know why they would, but if the Chargers were to draft somebody like that, right? If he went to a system with Harbaugh or somebody like him,
But you got Herbert for the next 5 years, unless he gets hurt.
Well, I don't think Herbert's very good, to be honest.
He's
Drake
pretty
May
fucking
goes
good.
to the Commanders. He's got Cliff Kingsbury as his OC.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the worst thing either.
Where's the commit? Where are the Redskins at?
Two.
I think they're two. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, I mean that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that would make
they've
a lot of
got-
sense.
They've got Jahan Dotson, they got Scary Terry, they got fucking Curtis Samuel. So.
Just
He's
go
going to
back to
Boston to die.
back North Carolina quarterbacks. You have Sam Howell's your backup.
Yeah.
Just good vibes.
Well, so people have been debating this, and you and I have talked about this many times over the years about GM strategy with the cap and the economics of football, the 4-year. Because usually, if you get a quarterback that comes in as your starter, he's a first rounder, so he's got a 4-year deal than a 5th year, right? 5th-year rookie deal. Does it make more sense to have a team that needs nothing but a quarterback and then draft a top round guy, or does it make more sense to fucking draft a quarterback and then build around him with his particular skill set? It's probably not always the same answer depending on the players involved, right?
Well, it depends on how long you're willing to sacrifice your team. Like, take the Falcons, for example. They got great young talent that just needs a quarterback right now. That's kind of it. And you can get them 1 through 10. The economics of it, if they were to take one, would certainly make sense. Then you got them on a rookie deal for 4 or 5 years, and then you could stack the defense and spend that money.
But the other
in
problem with that
places.
is that if you have a pretty good team aside from the quarterback, you're winning too many games to get a good draft pick, right?
The following years, yes.
even the Falcons this year with no quarterback they won 7 games still, right?
Yeah.
And you're not even in. What are you guys at 8th?
A dog shit head coach. Yeah, we're at 8. We're at pick 8.
Chiefs, though, best quarterback in the league. Team's kind of mid. Win the Super Bowl.
I know.
Or honestly, here's a better example. What the fuck did the Texans have?
They had a generational defensive lineman for sure, right? And a pretty good quarterback. And so far as I know, that was it. Good coach, obviously.
Yeah.
I still can't believe he didn't win Coach of the Year. Like, what the fuck, man? But
Stefanski won it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, he got to the fucking Browns to the playoffs with Joe Flacco.
Yeah, fair enough.
Chargers are at 5. Did you know that? 5th pick in the draft.
Yeah, they sucked this year.
I think they might be cutting Joey Bosa and then drafting a fucking edge rusher there.
He's had a problem staying healthy there.
And they don't take a cap hit, I think, if they cut him right now.
He probably wants to leave California.
But they may cut him.
Sure.
Fair enough, too.
sure.
Yeah, they may cut him and re-sign him, too, though, right? Just
Cut
to a
him.
different deal.
Giants here at 6, so they take a quarterback. They just signed Danny Dimes to $220. What the fuck do you do with that?
They have... Yeah, it's 2 more years of dead cap before they can bounce him. So I don't think so this year.
Titans at 7.
Next year, by the way, next year's quarterback class is dog shit
Yeah,
for the draft. That's something to keep in mind.
Sure. Titans at 7 there. They're not going to place a franchise tag on Henry, so he's gone.
Yeah, he's
Who's
gone.
the dude next year? Quinn Ewers?
It would be Quinn Ewers and
I think he is the first. Hold on.
First
yeah,
QB
who
in
is the guy next
the
year?
mock. I mean, somebody will pop up, I'm sure,
Yeah.
that we're not talking about.
We'll see how Will Howard does this year, I guess.
Down in town
Who
now.
fucking knows?
WalterFootball.com
Shedeur
says it's
Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders.
That's right, Shedeur.
Man, not at number
Drew
one
Aller.
overall. Drew Allar's got a lot of fucking work to do
yeah, he sure does.
before he's even considered a first-round draft pick.
Dan and I saw him in
real.
real life this last year, and it wasn't
yeah,
great.
it's basically Shedeur and Quinn.
Was he a redshirt
Yeesh.
freshman then? Aller?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
So who knows, right? So
Yeah.
like
I mean,
fucking
he played as an
Joey-
18-year-old kid.
Joey
so.
football had some problems his first year. I mean, we watched them at our Alabama came into town and beat them 29-0.
Yeah, we were at that
Just
game.
lit their ass up, but then he had the best season ever.
And
for a
that's all that it
quarterback.
takes sometimes. Bears are also at 9 here, so shit, the Bears.
Quinn Ewers is the
so many
second
options.
the second best or the second ranked quarterback from that draft. So it's Shedeur Sanders and
You're right.
Yeah.
Next year's gross. I don't want any of
and
those
then
guys.
Drew Allar is third already, which tells you about the depth of that class. It fucking
Yeesh.
sucks.
Jets at 10, Vikings at 11. Where does Kirk Cousins go?
I don't know, but he might go back to Washington as well.
I think he stays.
He's a lot of people in Minnesota are trying to get him to stay right now.
He's going to take a
behind the scenes.
kind of hometown deal
Yeah.
with the Vikings.
Kirk O'Chains?
He doesn't want to move his kids.
I get it.
Yeah.
He just
I understand that.
doesn't want to do it. He's
although
made
he
plenty of
probably-
money.
I understand that.
He's super conservative, so I'm not sure how thrilled he is to live in Minnesota right now because they're a fucking full retard on the politics. But
I think he's out in the middle of nowhere. I watched that Netflix special.
oh
so
yeah,
I think
he's probably
fine.
out in a dyno or something like that, which is like
Yeah.
40 minutes from the city. But yeah, man, the Jets might be drafting one of these really good quarterbacks as well. Like, yeah,
Well-
they've got Aaron Rodgers right now,
Yeah.
sure, but we know that the guy behind him, the
I hope
cute,
the same
cute
thing
one.
happens next year.
No.
I hope he makes a massive.
imagine?
Well, they
return.
better draft a first round quarterback then, right? To somebody who can fucking actually take this team you've assembled and do something
gets
because
so
Zach
mad.
Wilson can't.
They need an offensive line.
And he's what is Aaron Rodgers 41 now?
They took a QB in the
30,
first round.
39 right now.
He's going to be so mad.
Oh, God. At
He's gonna
10?
be so
If he
mad.
took him at 10, he'd be fucking furious.
He's like, you didn't get me another weapon. God damn it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
what-
you're gonna
he's got-
have
he's got-
Malik Neighbors on the board. There's a bunch of people. They need an alignment, too. They need fucking offensive
They need a
linemen
lot
there.
of stuff, but I mean, it's also it's a business.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Look.
Like, sorry, Aaron.
For sure.
Which is
Don't-
what Aaron
don't take
Rodgers
$50
would
million
tell
a year.
anyone if he wasn't personally offended by the business decision.
Yeah.
Personally offended by anything.
The
Yeah.
Cardinals have another 2 picks in this fucking first round next year.
They're going to be good. They're feisty this year, and they sucked.
Yeah.
They'll be a really good regular season
If they can
team.
get rid of Kyler Murray,
No, even with them, they'll be a good regular season team.
He might be okay.
He puts up stats.
He's a tiny little man.
Yeah, but he like in the playoffs, no way. He can't. He's not a game
He's
manager.
very nebbish, but he can get it done.
2 picks for these fucking guys again in the first rounds. Wow. And then obviously the Patriots are there at 3. That looks like a honky Drake May pick.
Patriots aren't going to be shit. We know that, right? Like the Patriots are going to go back to what they were before Belichick, which is a dog shit organization.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
But I mean, but based on that information, they probably will draft a quarterback thing because that's the dumb move in this position.
They'll take
to not
probably
rebuild.
Jaden Daniels, right? Jaden Daniels.
No.
Man.
Patriot.
The Patriots, they won't draft a black quarterback. They'll
Why?
go Drake May.
They have a black coach now.
They'll go. I'm telling you, they're going to go Drake May. I think it's Kraft who makes
May's
that decision.
going to be 2, though, right? Drake May's going to go to
Might
the
be gone.
Commanders.
What if Kraft drafted like a fucking 45-year-old Asian lady? And everybody's like, what the fuck? Who? And he's like, they show her picture up on the screen and she's wearing fucking rubber gloves. I'm like, oh, I get it.
I think May's going to the Commanders, Jaden Daniels to the Patriots, and he is a certified bust.
Jaden Daniels, you hate him so much.
He sucks.
Yeah, he won. Didn't he win the Heisman?
He won the Heisman, but he fucking sucks.
That actually doesn't mean a lot.
He had the second best season ever for
Troy
a
Smith
quarterback.
won the Heisman. How was his NFL career?
Well, Troy Smith was lazy. I can tell you that. I know what his problem was, for real. He gained fucking 26 pounds over Heisman season, just eating, before the fucking national
I
championship.
mean, most Heisman winners don't,
Usually
quarterback-wise, don't
translate.
do
yeah.
a ton in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Except for Baker Mayfield. Rumor has it
True.
they're starting that contract right now.
If only the Falcons
he
had a
gets
quarterback like Baker Mayfield.
Baker's going to get 40.
Is he? That's
That's
was
what
my
it costs
question.
for a quarterback now.
So is he going to get 40? You think?
well, they don't have anybody else to pay.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah, they don't have anybody else to pay. right? Tampa Bay, who the fuck else? Because Mike Evans isn't going back.
No.
There's no way.
I don't think so.
He's going
Baker
to-
just
he's
got
going to
paid
the
off
Chiefs,
Mike
probably.
Evans.
Yeah.
Mike Evans has made so many careers.
He has.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely made
You
Tom
got
Brady's
Johnny
career.
fucking drafted as high as he did.
Yeah.
Sure did. Johnny did a podcast, by the way, the other day where he
was big
apologized
news.
for
losing like 40 pounds on cocaine.
Yep. And just fucking up his entire career. And he was like, man,
His
I could have been great.
His entire life, yeah.
Punched
Kinda.
one of our old coworkers in the face.
He did punch.
Did he really?
Yeah, he
That's
said
great.
they were at a party and he looked him in the face and said, "Man, I really want to punch you in the fucking face." And our coworker goes, "Please don't." And then he did.
I like that a lot. I actually like Johnny Manzel. I wish he wouldn't have gotten fucked up. I think he could have been great.
Well, it's his fault.
No.
I know it is.
There's no one to blame but Johnny.
Look, I know. I'm just saying it sucks.
He's
I think he would
he's
have been
like
awesome.
my size. No.
That's the way. All you need is this fucking 6'2", 6'3". Like,
I'm not 6'2".
how? What are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Okay.
Johnny might be my height. Might be.
He was a pretty decent sized dude. It was fun to watch.
Very
He was
frail.
very fun to watch. He
wasn't fast.
He was on a deceptively loaded A&M team.
Mm-hmm.
Like that team was stacked with talent, not just Mike Evans. And
super fun. Incredibly fun in college, but
Yeah.
yeah, not an NFL player.
I wanted to see him do it too.
you can't. Yeah,
I was rooting for him. I miss players who have fun. We don't have any of that.
The thing with Manzel, I feel like, is like you can do backyard shit in the NFL, like Rodgers and Mahomes, but you need to be like
All world.
You need to be perfect at the simple shit. If you can't do Brock Purdy shit, first you can't do Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers shit at all.
And that's kind of what Mahomes figured out this year. That's why they were struggling in the regular season. He's like, I can if I just do which he did in the playoffs, the smaller things, just like 5-yard completion, we'll still move down the field and score.
Yeah.
And he was running the ball a little more too, very strategically. Mahomes was these little fucking 4 or 5 yard pickups to help out the offense because they don't have any goddamn running backs over there. You're right. He adjusted, and that was the reason why he's Pat Mahomes and everybody else isn't.
Any chance that the Bears just take Marvin Harrison Jr. and have him and DJ Moore, and then because
Justin Fields?
they have
And then take a O lineman.
Then
with
you
the
take
10.
J.J. McCarthy in the
they have
second round.
the 9th pick as well, and they were planning, or at least they're projected to take Dallas Turner from Alabama, the best edge rusher in the country, and then you would pair him up with Montez Sweat. So you'd have Montez Sweat and this guy, then you have Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore, and
Justin
Fields. I mean, because the only two out of those you're actually having to pay real money are Montez Sweat because he's 27, and then fucking kind of Justin Fields for this year, but not really until next year. Really,
Right.
he's really going to get paid. So why wouldn't you give it one more? I know that the draft class next year. This is probably why they're doing it because the draft class for quarterback sucks next year. But
Yeah, and for Marvin, he'd be going back to Justin Fields. He was their freshman year, so they know each other. I think Marvin Harrison is going to change one of these fucking teams
yeah, he's
on his own.
He's one of the best receiver talents I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know.
Same. I
he's
would
like,
draft up to get him.
He's like a fast Mike Evans.
Calvin
Great-
Johnson was
Yeah.
maybe the greatest receiver I've ever seen, and
He's
he
the
did
greatest
not
receiver
change
ever.
that organization.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's a Hall of Famer. I mean,
Oh yeah, and he had like the most catches in one year.
Yeah.
did everything.
I think deep balls, you could say Randy Moss just because he's a fucking tall, lanky freak alien.
But total
But, yeah,
package, I
like,
would take
Calvin Johnson's the
Johnson over
best
anyone.
receiver ever for sure.
Yeah, yeah, body-wise and everything
Marvin
else.
Harrison is like Calvin Johnson, right?
Yep.
So man,
But they wasted that man's career to the point that he retired early, like Barry Sanders.
He did.
They did it twice.
Yeah.
They did it
the
twice.
two of the best players of all time.
Arguably the best running back and the best wide receiver of all
They're
time.
like, we're good.
This is why I hate Detroit. I don't think they ever deserved to win a game.
No, I agree.
That and their fans booed fucking
Stafford. Who, by the way,
played with a broken back.
he
for a
wanted
year and a
a
half.
ring so bad that he didn't do the Megatron and Barry Sanders thing. I mean, Matt Stafford,
It worked out.
Statue.
They got Jared Goff now.
it's it.
Stud.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Jared
He's
Goff's not terrible.
He's a top 10 quarterback.
They're not going to that. Do you think he'll ever win a Super Bowl?
Yes.
I mean,
A Super Bowl? I
We're
don't know about
just in
that.
the NFC Championship.
I don't know
game. It's
about
really
that.
hard to get to. But yeah, Jared. I mean, especially in the NFC, it's not good. They just got to get over the Niners.
But how
Which
old
they
is
could
Jared
have this
Goff
year.
right now? He's got to be, what, 34?
No, he's like 27 or 28.
No,
Really?
he's
That young?
still in his 20s, I
Yeah.
believe.
He
No
was
fucking way.
he was drafted by the St. Louis Rams, but he's not that old. Yeah,
He was drafted young, though, I think.
he's
Is he 30?
29.
Yeah,
29. He's still got
He
his
will
prime coming
he will
up.
turn 30 next season.
Yeah, he's still got
And
his prime
he's-
coming up for a quarterback.
Only getting better.
He is. Look, he's still got his prime coming up. We'll see.
And
what
they still
happens there.
have Montgomery, Gibbs, St. Brown, and Williams, and Sam Laporta, who, by the way, could have won Offensive Rookie of the Year
And they kept
this year.
I'll walk that back. I was unaware that he was that young. I thought he was like 35
They
years
kept
old.
their OC. They're the most explosive offense in the league.
They had the top-rated offense in the league for sure. I mean, it's like, man, better decision-making. Probably
keep
is part
going
of it.
for it every fourth down.
Yeah, better.
That's
better
what got 'em there.
Better decision making, probably, but also tighten it up on defense a little bit, and that team's a
the
problem
defense.
because NFC is fucking weak as shit.
Yeah.
it's just the 49ers
It
right
is
now.
at this point.
Although Green Bay is going to be fucking good next year too.
Yeah, they could
So
be.
we'll see.
I'm
If they
selling
get a
my
wide
stock.
I think
receiver.
the Lions are the more complete team.
Yeah.
Right now they are.
Too
for
many
sure,
people
yeah.
are hopping on the
And Green Bay
Packer
drafts
train.
like shit too, so they're not gonna. It's not that they're gonna get exponentially better over the next year or two from
Right.
draft.
I don't think I'm sold on Jordan Love. I know a lot of people are.
I am.
He's
And I
good.
think Jahmyr Gibbs, by the way, is going to dominate for the Lions. I love that
Shit,
kid
he
running
did this
back.
year.
I know. Well, and they barely gave him any playing time. He's going to be dominant next year. We appreciate you joining us, kids. Head on over to Fake News on Drinkin' Bros podcast. Patreon will be live there in about 10 minutes. In the meantime, if you're in the Austin area this Friday night, join us at the HEB at Nutty Brown over here right by the studio on 290. We'll be doing a meet and greet there, having some fun drinks and some giveaways and all that other stuff. 4:30 to 7:30 on Friday night. We'll see you there. Please go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. The NFL draft can't get here fast enough. Go to MyBookie.com. Bet with us or against us over there. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. For D'Anthony Hollaway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Monday Morning Recap. Good morning, everyone.